The wheels are turning as the best in amateur bowling battle for the $50,000 top prize. That's coming to you from the Orleans Bowling Center in Las Vegas, Nevada, next. Welcome inside the Orleans Bowling Center for the finals of the Brunswick Mini Eliminator and highlights of the Brunswick Shootout. Hello everyone, I'm Jan Schmidt along with PBA Hall of Famer Marshall Holman. Marshall, a unique format here in the Mini Eliminator. How did they qualify?
Well, you're right, Jan. There were over 3,900 entries, and they bowled 3 games. They bowled it in 4 different divisions. There was a 39 and under, there was a 40 to 49, an over 50 division, and a 205 and under division. Now, then when they got into the finals, they bowled elimination matches where half the field was eliminated with every game. They kept doing that until they got down to just 2 people in 39 and under and 1 in the other divisions.
Well, that brought us to just 5 for today's finals. Let's meet those 5 finalists.
Hi, I'm Wayne Stone from Glen Ellen, Illinois. Dave Ewald, Warren, Michigan.
My name's Warren Nelson. I'm from Madera, California.
Brian Waliczek from Cass City, Michigan.
Hi, I'm Dan Emmett. I'm from Las Vegas, Nevada.
So how about it, Marshall? Anybody stand out? Any favorite?
I got to go with Warren Nelson. You know, Warren and I roomed together back in the 70s and early 80s. He won his last tournament, 1980 Alameda, at my expense. I finished second. Thanks a lot, Warren. Anyway, I think that experience could really help him out today.
Well, we'll see in just a few minutes if he meets up to your expectations. Plus, we'll bring you highlights of the Brunswick Shootout that took place earlier today. Right now, stay with us. We'll be right back with the start of the Mini Eliminator. Are being brought to you by Brunswick, bowling balls for every level of play. By Turbo 2-in-1 Grips, they have a grip on bowling. And by the Orleans, see all that it means to stay at the Orleans. We're ready for the Brunswick Mini Eliminator. First bowler up, Wayne Stone. He is in the 205 and under average category.
And he starts out with a powerful strike, tripping out the 4-pin on lane 11.
Yeah, it looks like Dan Emmett getting ready to bowl. Lost something. Rosin bag or something, taking a look for that. Dan Emmett in the 50 and over category.
He's our only southpaw.
Yes, it was.
From right here in Las Vegas, Nevada. Little high, leaving an 8-pin. Okay, now, Marshall, this is all 5 bowlers. They'll bowl just 1 game, and it's total pinfall.
That's right. The high game takes the $50,000, and then 25, 15, 12, 5, and 10. So a lot of pressure. Game goes by quickly. He switches balls to a hard-covered plastic ball for less friction. Makes a spare.
Prize money you just mentioned, Marshall, $50,000 on top. As you said, 25, 15, 12, 5, 10. Big difference between first and fifth.
Oh, it's huge. And it's hard to tell who's more nervous. Even though there's some experience here in this fivesome, they've all got to be scared.
Brian Waliczek from Cass City, Michigan. He didn't sound like he was happy with that shot.
Well, I think he got that ball inside his target. The ball didn't arc properly. That's why he left the solid 10. You know, bowler can tell when the ball comes off your hand, you can pretty well tell if it's got a really good chance of striking or not. That ball did end up in a good position, but it leaves a 10-pin. He'll throw it hard and straight.
Covers it up.
So take a look at the backswing and the release of Brian Waliczek. A very, very powerful. He comes ripping up the back of that ball. His brother Lonnie is a bowler on the Pro Bowlers Tour.
David Ewald from Warren, Michigan. He qualified in the 39 and under bracket.
And he rips out the 4-pin. And a very interesting style for Ewald because his ball tracks between the fingers and thumb. He throws what we call the full roller. You'll see is a little different release, more off the side. His ball coming in high, but getting a nice, friendly kick of the 4-pin.
Thank you very much. And now Warren Nelson in the 40 to 49. He was your pick, Marshall.
Well, he's not the first person I put the whammy on, but it's early in the game. He leaves the 1-2-4, 6-10. Just got the ball too far to the right, but you can see he's not getting too upset with himself. He knows it's a very long game. Now this can be made two ways, either by putting the ball in between the 1 and the 6-pin straight, or going to the left of the head pin. I think he'll try and go in between the 1 and the 6. And I was wrong again. He takes to the outside of the head pin and overcut it.
Yeah, you roomed with him?
I roomed with Warren in the late 70s, early 80s.
Okay.
We roomed together. We're good friends, still friends, although I hadn't seen Warren in probably 10 years until last night.
It's an open frame for Warren Nelson. Right now, 4 bowlers all even. The first 4, Nelson obviously trailing. And Wayne Stone coming up high, getting a break there, Marshall, kicking out the 6-10.
Fortunate just to leave the 4-7. And, you know, here's a guy who's 193 average bowler. He's got a chance to bowl against 4 quality players with a top prize of 50 grand. So there's a reason to be a little uptight.
And he doesn't bowl a lot. He doesn't bowl a lot of these events. He actually works for a phone company. He's engaged to Marianne and waiting their wedding. His first TV show.
Yeah, and I think after the first couple of frames, the nerves will fade away to a certain extent. You know, the apprehension of bowling on television is probably worse than the act.
Dan Emmett in the 50 and over category. He is a retired UPS worker.
A friendly roll there, coming in light. This ball's got a long way to go from the left side of the lane. Tickles the head pin, and the 6-pin falls, and then the 7 shortly thereafter.
Sweepers also went on throughout the week, and there's a look at the winners. David Haynes, Carl Fitek, Dan Bach, Carl Simmons, and Phil Scammell.
From England.
People from all over in this event. Marshall, you gave a figure about 3,900 bowlers altogether?
3,924, I believe, was the entry.
Brian Waliczek with a big strike in the second frame.
Now, last night in the semifinals, Brian Waliczek, bowling on 11 and 12, started out with the first 10 strikes in a row, shot 289. So a pair where Mr. Waliczek is very comfortable.
David Ewald. He's had some success in the July high roller sweeper.
And he's got an early lead. Starting out with 2 strikes in a row. He's got the high backswing. Got that ball to finish dead flush in the pocket. Actually, almost a little bit high, but it hung in there. He likes it. He should.
And Warren Nelson, after that open frame, trying to come back.
Coming in just a little bit high, leaving the 4-pin, but settling down after that first errant shot on lane 11. He knows the game's very long, and I watched a little bit of the action yesterday, and on many games where it was just single elimination games, half the field was cut every game, Warren started out slowly and then made big comebacks towards the end of the game, so he may have to do that again today.
Covers up the 4-pin in his first mark. So far, a very close match, actually, between all competitors, except for David Ewald. Looks like he's lighting him up with the first 2 strikes.
Yeah, David Ewald's got the first 2 strikes. Brian Waliczek had the solid 10 and then a strike, so he's looking good right now.
Wayne Stone, this is his second Mini Eliminator event.
Comes in high, leaves the 3 and the 10. And it looks like he is kind of doing a little bit of head hunting right now. Instead of let his swing just go, be confident with trusting your game.
So he's in the 205 and under. His actual league average is 193. So probably well below the other four guys on this show.
Yeah, he switched balls, went to the harder ball to shoot the 310. Ball went past the 3-pin, leaving an open frame.
Dan Emmett.
If he strikes here, he could go into a tie with David Ewald.
Oh, a light one. Got the mix on that.
Now that's 2 shots in a row where he's come in light. Has very, very good carry. He seems very ultra composed right now. I'd be jumping out of my skin.
I'll tell you what, if you're watching this and you're enjoying it and want to be a part of it next year, make sure that you call 1-877-900-MINI, 877-900-MINI. You can get information on next year's Mini Eliminator event. Right now, Brian Waliczek working on a strike. He also needs to strike to get up tied with the lead.
That's correct.
And he does.
You know, Brian Waliczek, he had to re-enter. He entered 9 times until he finally got into the finals. High backswing, and he liked this ball immediately off his hand. He said, that's the way it's supposed to look. Just driving right through the pins.
The high backswing thing is very popular with the younger guys today.
Yeah, for the extra power. You see it here as well. Yeah, no trip of the 4-pin this time for David.
David uses all of his vacation. He works for Ford Motor. He uses all of his vacation to bowl tournaments. Used it all up. Said this is it. When he's done here, can't take a vacation.
The way he bowls, he should try and get more vacation time.
Yeah, and I don't think, he said his wife Erica is not real happy with the fact that he uses all his vacation to bowl, though.
I could see a little tension building there, yeah. But hang in there, Erica. He's bringing home the bacon.
Now Warren Nelson. Open frame and then a spare through the first 2.
Strike for Warren Nelson.
So we're through 3 frames of the Mini Eliminator. Emmett and Waliczek are out in front. We'll be right back with more action from the Orleans. Stay with us. It's been the sponsor of the Mini Eliminator event for the past 2 years. The bowlers in this event want top-of-the-line equipment, but Brunswick makes bowling balls for all levels of play. And here to talk about that is the R&D Manager for Consumer Products of Brunswick, Ray Edwards. Okay. Ray, the bowlers in this event, they want the best scoring, top-of-the-line. What do they use?
The high-performance group is our Fuse group. Features brand new core and cover stock technologies for cutting-edge performance. The newest Fuse is a Fuse Igniter. It's a new reactive ball that'll be in the pro shops in August, just in time for the fall league season.
Well, I'm sure top of the line means top price, and those who don't want to be right at that level but need high performance, where do they go?
They go to our Monster line. Monster features tried and true performance, and in the Monster line we have a new ball, the Smash R, which is a reactive ball, and also we have a new proactive ball, the Swamp Monster, for those heavy oil conditions.
Well, Ray, I know there's a lot of people just trying to get into their first high-performance ball. Now, do you have something for those bowlers?
We sure do. We've got the Power Groove. In the Power Groove line, we've taken the traditional 3-piece weight block, modified it with Disc-Core technology to provide more hook at that price point than any other ball around.
And there's always still fun. Bowling's always been recreational and fun. What do you have for that bowler?
Well, for those bowlers, we've got the Visiballs. With Brunswick's exclusive 360-degree graphic process, Visiballs would have all kinds of different designs. You can find a Visiball just to fit about any personality, and you'll definitely get noticed if you're out there with a Visiball.
I bet you will, Ray. Looks like fun. Thanks a lot. So as you can see, Brunswick does provide something for all levels of play in bowling. And we'll be right back here with more action from the Mini Eliminator. Stay with us. Frames, Emmett and Waliczek in the lead. Ewald trailing by just 1. Nelson trailing by 22 and Stone by 23. I'm Jan Schmidt along with Marshall Holman. We're joined in the booth by Lori Tesmar. She's the president of sales and marketing for Turbo 2-in-1 Grips, one of the sponsors here. Welcome, Lori.
Nice to see you again.
You too.
Marshall.
Hi, Lori.
You obviously like this event. You sponsor every year.
This has been a fabulous event. It keeps getting better and better. And right now in the amateur circuit, this is the top dog tournament there is.
Well, I know your family also participates a little bit. Your father, who's the CEO, is here.
My father's been bowling out on the PBA Tour and hasn't bowled much in the amateur ranks, but one of the rulings is if you don't have a title, as a senior bowler, you can bowl. So he actually came out and finished in the top 5 in the senior bracket.
I was watching him yesterday, and really he had a great shot to the pocket, and it was probably striking more than anybody. He just was occasionally not filling up the frames.
That's what it was. He got a little bit, had an unfortunate break and was back-to-back 7-10. So.
Ooh, that's not good. Your father is Dave Bernhardt, so everybody knows who we're talking about.
Right.
Oh, just picking up a spare. Wayne Stone converting in the 4th frame, and Dan Emmett will be stepping up. Some of these bowlers from your area. Dave Ewald?
This is a great show. Dave Ewald is from Detroit, which our hometown, and he's also, his wife is in the crowd, who's one of our all-star bowlers back in Detroit. We also have Brian Waliczek bowling, and he was on our bowl for Saginaw Valley State.
And you sponsor college bowling, so you sponsor Saginaw Valley also.
Saginaw Valley State was one of our collegiate sponsor programs, and they're out of Bay City, so it's been a great show with all these local guys that we're familiar with making the show.
Yeah. Dan Emmett just threw another strike, so he goes into the lead. He's our 50 and older bowler. And the Turbo 201, they sponsor a lot of the players on the national tour as well.
Yeah, we have a full staff of seniors, PWBA professionals, women, and obviously the national tour. And this year has been outstanding. This year we crowned 2 new U.S. Open champions, both the men's PBA professional, Mika Koivuniemi, who won the men's U.S. Open, and then Kim Terrell. Kim Terrell also won the Queen's Tournament, which was a phenomenal feat. And
yes.
You're a past champion of that, so.
I am, and she beat me in the first match this year with a 3. She started with a 300 game. I don't know. Do you think it's the grips?
I think it's the grips.
It's the grips. Waliczek going for a strike here to stay even in the match. Solid 9. And
great shot.
He's a power player, and that's going to happen. The ball driving past the pins. You'll see it going into the 1-3 pocket. Looks good here, but no respect for those pins. Right past the 9 pin, and he knows that ball needed to be a little further right. Live by power, and sometimes you die by it.
Marshall, we had talked to Brian about if you liked college bowling better or this type of bowling better, and he really didn't. He said they're just so different. I like them both.
Yeah, well, I think he's going to like. I think he's going to like the money part.
That's what I was going to say. He's probably going to like that paycheck at the end.
Spares it up, and now David Ewald. Now, Lori, do you know David?
I know him personally. Him and his wife both. I see him, in and out of the ranks in Detroit. A lot of tournaments they bowl, things that we sponsor. So yeah, I know his family very well.
Now, you were saying that quite a few of the bowlers here on the telecast are using the grips. I think 4 of the 5.
We actually did a little investigation. We're 9 out of 10 bowlers, which include the shootout bowlers.
Excellent.
We're using the product, and the only one that doesn't use grips at all.
Oh, okay.
So
well,
that's 10 for 10. That's,
absolutely. That's fantastic. Warren Nelson now up. He has 1 strike so far. Really needs to get it going here in double.
Made a very good shot on this lane in his previous frame on lane 12. Came in just a little bit high and left for 4 pin. Let's see if he makes a proper adjustment. Gets the ball further to the right. Oh, he does, but he leaves a solid 10. He's got to be, he's got to be saying to himself, why me? I just kind of threw the balls because I could. Look, it's right in the 1-3 pocket. 6 pin, just right around the bottom of it.
Did you ever say, why me, when you were on tour, Marshall?
Yes, I was a whiner, so I said it a lot.
Does it help?
No, it never, it never did. Not a bit. Wasted energy.
But he converts the spare, and Lori, we're talking about professionals that you have on staff as we take a look at the scoreboard there. Emmett in the lead now. Ewald trailing by just 1. Waliczek by 11.
Yeah, the other big honorable mention this year, too, is a PBA Rookie of the Year was awarded to Tommy Jones, which is also another turbo staffer. So it's been a great, great year.
Ooh, not a good shot for Wayne Stone, Marshall.
Well, he missed that by a mile. And he's on television. He's a 193 average bowler. Admittedly, he doesn't bowl that much. He just, the body and the ball did not come in sync. As you can see, he's off balance. The ball was well left of his target. And not one he's going to be too proud of.
Spares that up, and Marshall, I'm also reading his notes here. And person who most influenced his bowling, Wayne Stones, said his mom for taking him every Sunday when he was younger, and Marshall Holman for touching me before the final match. Did you?
Pump him up, give him some words of
What
wisdom.
happened there?
You know, I talked to all the guys before the final match, and I told them, I said, you know, everybody's going to be nervous, so don't be intimidated by one or two of the players. Everybody's going to be nervous, except maybe this guy, who's got 4 in a row. The southpaw, the 50 and older. You know, this doesn't he understand this is a kid's game?
These seniors are tough, hey.
They are. They've been tough here every year. I mean, 2 years in a row it was won by the senior in 98-99.
That's right.
So they've been tough.
He certainly is showing a lot of composure. Now, this man's game I really like. I like the way Brian Waliczek gets through the ball, very good projection down the lane, and just has a ton of power.
Wow, wonderful shot. He, as we said, graduated from Saginaw Valley. He has a degree in business management, and now he bowls a lot of the amateur events.
I heard he's getting married.
He is. He is getting married very soon, July 27th, to Jill Wright. And he's pretty excited about that. He said she had to remind him, though, it was less than 30 days away.
It'll be on him soon. Nice young lady.
David Ewald now working on a strike in the 4th.
Now, that was almost a solid 9. Fortunate that ball held on. Doesn't want Dan Emmett to get too far in front of him. Watch as this ball creeps up high in the pocket. 9-pin falls, but it wasn't touched by the ball. Not sure what pin touched it.
Happened so fast.
Too quick.
Warren Nelson up quickly in the 5th frame.
And he is just in big struggle right now. The 1, 2, and the 10-pin. You know, it's a big moment, even for someone like Warren, who has won on the national level, you know, in years past. It's 22 years ago since he won on the national level. But this means a lot to him. The prestige of this tournament, and let's face it, the money is pretty big.
Oh, great shot at the washout.
He's hanging in there.
Lori, you're celebrating an anniversary?
11 years. It's hard to believe, but this is our 11th year, and
As Warren makes the washout. Sorry, Lori, I didn't mean to steal your thunder.
it's okay. It's gone by so quick, though. Lots of fun.
Well, there's a great shot from the
205 and under.
The 205 and under player made a very, very good pass at that one, but leaves the 4-pin.
He'll convert the spare here. And Laura, you have a pretty big staff too, and they do a lot of hard work for you at Turbo.
Yeah, the crew we had out here this week, I just have to give my hats off to them. Chris Sand and Chris Wissinger, they did such a fantastic job all week.
Holy cow. You couldn't touch that any thinner than that.
You'd already given him that spare. You said he was going to make that 4-pin.
Yeah, I did.
You're absolutely right.
So we had to.
Let's take a look at Emmett's last 4 strikes. The first couple kind of tickled him over. Here's another light hit. And then I believe he came in a little more solid. Oh, another light one. This is the one he wanted, the high flush.
And you're looking at the 6th frame.
This one just comes in high. He leaves the 4 and the 7. And I'm sure that Waliczek and Ewald and all the players are probably saying thank you.
Yeah, give us a chance. Come on now. Exactly. Now, Lori, several times you have your family with you. And
Yes,
they're not here, are they?
They're not here this week, but I do have to send hellos back to my son and daughter, Taylor and Trevor. I will be on my way home soon, and my husband, of course, for running the fort while I'm gone.
As Emmett chops the 4-pin off the 7, and that really brings a lot of people back into the mix.
It sure does.
You can
Opens up
see
the
it
match.
just chops it right off. It's an open frame for the southpaw, and he loses the lead with that shot.
Brian Waliczek taking a deep breath before he steps up now because he knows it's a whole different match. Brian trailing Emmett now by just 7. Actually, David Ewald now in the lead after that open frame by Dan Emmett.
Get up, hit hard. Nice.
This young man seems to be rather serious. Another picture-perfect shot. You'll see the ball coming into the 1-3 pocket. 6 is going to take the wall and hit the 10-pin. He enjoyed this one.
Hit hard. Yes!
David Ewald now up in the 6th. He actually needs a strike here. He was in the lead momentarily. Brian Waliczek now will move into the lead.
Now just by 1 pin.
Right. This is a close one, and they are going back and forth. That open frame by Dan Emmett has put him bunched in the pack by just a couple of pins.
Yeah, Emmett's down by 3, and Waliczek is up by 1 over this gentleman.
Right. So Warren Nelson will be coming up, and Lori, thanks for all your sponsorship and for everything you do for bowling. We really appreciate it. And thanks for joining us in the booth.
That's right, my pleasure. And hopefully we'll see both of you back in January for the Super Bowl Mini Eliminator. That'll be sometime mid-January. I can't get the exact dates, but January 27th and February 2nd.
I look forward to that as well. Very nice to see you.
Nice to see you again, Marshall.
Well, after 6 frames, Brian Waliczek has the lead by 1 pin. When we return, a look at who grabbed all the Brunswick Shootout cash. Field, let's meet them.
Les Horton, Las Vegas, Nevada.
Kenny Lawson, Deltona, Florida.
Okay. Hi, I'm Bob Shank, and I'm from Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Hi, I'm Pete Thomas from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Hello, everybody at Council Road back home. We're going to have a great time today. Thank you.
I'm Mike Fagan. I'm from Long Island, New York.
Now take a look at the format. It's the same 4 divisions as the Mini Eliminator. 1 ball per frame. Every frame has a dollar amount. 1 bowler strikes, the money is won. 2 bowlers strike or none, the money's going to be carried over. Tie after 10 will go into sudden death format, and the first ball pin count will determine who continues until we have a winner.
Here's a look what's up for grabs. Frames 1 through 6, $1,000. 7 through 9, $2,000. And frame 10 worth $3,000 for a total of $15,000. So we moved to the 10th frame. Money has carried over the entire match. $15,000 on the line in the 10th frame. Should they tie and carry over, we'll move into sudden death, Marshall. Michael Fagan will be first.
Well, he got that ball out, but it hooked in high. Oh, leaving the 4-9. He liked it off his hand. Maybe that lane might be drying up just a little bit.
Still live. Everybody else.
Good strong release, and look at all the spin and drive on that ball. No respect for the pins. High backswing. Really torques through the ball hard. Could balance the line.
Okay, so $15,000 still up for grabs. Les Horton, he struck the last 3 times. They haven't been pretty, but they've worked.
Come on, get up! Get up! Yeah!
Oh, he saved the best for last.
You know, and Les Horton, he's the 205 and under bowler, so he really is the underdog. But what a great shot at an opportune time.
Carried over right here.
He's ultra pumped.
See where that takes me. Pump there, huh?
Okay, Kenny Lawson, 5 for 6. Pressure's on Kenny to carry it over into a sudden death.
That ball got down early, but look at this. Release was not quite right. Didn't get the drive. Moves the flat 10.
Get him, Bob.
Look at Les looking down. Could it be possible?
Bob Shank and Pete Thomas.
Let's hear what, Bob will probably tell us. Yeah, 15 grand. He's thinking about it.
I think I'd rather be here than sitting there. Ooh-wee. Okay, let's do it.
I'd rather be him right now.
I would too. I'm already done. Well, Bob said let's do it. Let's see if he did it. Oh,
Solid 10. Oh, he did everything
that was a great
except
job.
strike. Come on.
Les almost fell out of his chair.
Well, he made a good delivery, Jan, but watch the 6-pin go around the bottom of the 10.
One more time. Hold us in there, baby.
Now, this is a man that got it done. As you can see, the reaction of Bob Shank. And a big smile from Les Horton.
And grabbed his head, almost fell off after that shot. But Pete Thomas, you're right. He got it done last year in the 10th frame. Will he get it done this year to bring it to sudden death?
Well, will Les Horton take 15 grand?
Les Horton, the 205 and under average bowler, grabs $15,000. He would not have been the favorite.
Well, no, he was the 5th favorite out of the 5 guys.
Exactly. And he was all over the place in the beginning.
Yeah.
And that was the best shot he threw the whole time. Woo!
Good job. Nice shot. Good job, guys. Good bowling. Thanks, Frank. It was the count. I waited
Les
for the last
Horton,
shot.
winner of the Brunswick shootout. Here's what he threw to win it.
Well, the ball goes over the 3rd arrow just where he wanted it. Watch it, perfect. 1-3 pocket, 10 pins in the pit. Les Horton, $15,000 richer, and boy, a smile that won't go away for some time.
He can't breathe. That is exciting. And this is a new division this year, and if that doesn't encourage you all to come out and try to bowl this event, I don't know what will.
See the concentration. He likes it right now. You bet.
Industries, bowling's leading manufacturer of top-of-the-line bowling bags. We pick up the action going into the 8th frame. Waliczek and Ewald are tied for the lead. Emmett trails by 2. Nelson and Stone down by more than 30. Brian, of course, the person who most influenced his bowling success is his brother. Now on tour, Lonnie.
And another soft 10 for Waliczek. Boy, if you got paid just for making good shots and hitting the pocket, you'd have to give it to Waliczek, but
Get that ball, get some roll.
it's a combination of putting it in the pocket like this, but also having the right speed to roll ratio in order to get the strikes.
I think he was talking to himself down there saying about getting some more roll.
Well, if that ball would have been a little bit further to the right or a little bit further to the left, probably would have struck. He sort of got trapped in that flat 10 zone.
Collegiate Bowler of the Year, Rookie of the Year, very talented.
Throws the ball hard and straight for his spares. A lot of power on the strike shots and nice and straight for spares. That's a good tip for everybody out there listening.
David Ewald, right now, actually now in the lead by 1 pin because of that 9 count by Waliczek. Person most influenced his bowling success, 3 people he lists: his brother Steve, sister Michelle, and wife Erica.
Actually, he needs a strike to go back in. There. And he goes back into the lead because Dan Emmett had doubled in the 7th, 8th frame. Ewald now leading by 2 pins. Watch the 6-pin just beat the daylights out of that 10. Bang. And he's looking at the 10. It falls.
He looks tough. Take a sip of water, relax. Warren Nelson. Finally carrying.
He strikes on the right-hand lane. Now he can't strike on the left-hand lane. For Warren Nelson, he's got a possible of 215, and for him to win this tournament, he would have to strike out and get some help from the likes of Ewald, Waliczek, and Emmett.
Wayne Stone in the same situation. He could strike out actually only for 199, but again, he's only a 193 average bowler.
Yeah, so
he's on national television.
He's doing well.
He sure is.
Yeah. Trips out the 4-7, strikes in the left-hand lane.
Dan Emmett now, his influence came from his dad, who's no longer with him, and his coach, Ed Mazarka, and sponsor, Nick Smith. And he right now trails by 2 pins.
Unless he can strike here. And he goes through the heart, leaving the 4 and the 6.
That was a key shot, 9th frame, setup shot.
I think it was the 4, 6, and the 10.
Well, I thought I threw that one good.
You could hear he said he liked it off his hand, thought he threw it well, but the ball goes through the heart of the pins, and he leaves the big split, which is almost impossible
Pretty
to make.
much, yeah, not makeable.
Go for the count, especially with as slow as he throws the ball. Oh, and he may regret missing that. Missing that 1 pin is going to cost him 2.
He was working on a strike, so definitely wanted to get both pins. Brian Waliczek now stepping up. Brian Waliczek trails by 11. Ninth frame, big setup shot. It's been here before for college.
Last couple of frames, he's left the half 10. What kind of an adjustment?
That one right there.
Just get that ball a little more full into the pocket. And it looks right now like it's going to come down between Ewald and Waliczek. It's hard to tell whether he did make an adjustment.
He wanted to get it over with, and he is getting the job done.
6-pin again is going to take out the 10-pin. You know, he's got the build and the intensity of a good friend of mine, Steve Hoskins.
Mm-hmm.
Now Warren Nelson trying to pick up a little extra cash. Probably can't win, but he could move up.
Yeah, there's still other matches, and that's not going to help. He's disgusted.
Yeah, and he should be. That was a big moment for him, and just didn't make a good shot. But you know, sometimes when you leave a lot of ringing 10 pins, you feel like you've got to throw the ball so high flush that it forces you to pinch it in, and then you end up leaving open frames and splits.
Because he had to strike. It wasn't a choice to just sit in the pocket and leave it another 10 pin.
Absolutely.
And if you want to come out next year and bowl in this mini eliminator, there's the information. Call that same number, 877-900-MINI, or you can go to minieliminator.com and get all the information. Make sure you come out. Nearly 4,000 bowlers participating.
That's right, and there were some very, very good ladies that just missed making it into the top 5 today.
They did. Deandra Hyman, past college bowler, Team USA member. She just missed out making the show. Last year we had a woman in the show, Marsha Kamrowski. So there's a women's category. They then go into the appropriate age bracket after qualifying.
Correct.
Getting ready for the 10th frame, the all-important 10th frame. Don't forget, several matches going on here as the money is positioned by score.
Wayne Stone with the possibility of finishing 3rd if he strikes out and gets some help. But
wow.
No.
Well, he can still, if he spares here, spare's pretty big for him here. He could shoot 179 yet.
And finish 4th.
Falling ahead of Warren Nelson unless Warren would strike out.
Oh, well, that's too bad. Wayne Stone, he finishes with a 165 game, and he's not going to be too pleased with that, but he's got to be pleased with getting this far in the tournament.
Definitely, and Dan Emmett now up. The best he could shoot is 219. He could force Brian Waliczek to double.
Yeah, it's Ewald's tournament to win or lose. It all depends on what
Definitely.
he does. If he bowls good in the 10th frame, it's his tournament.
But Dan Emmett still having a chance at least 2nd here.
Yeah, and for Emmett, it really was mistakes in the 6th frame and the 9th frame that have cost him.
So he'll regroup and try to throw one more strike. Really has no chance of winning this match, but does have, like I said, a chance at 2nd.
And it'll be 209 with a conversion of the 3-pin, and he should make that. He's got to be saying to himself, boy, I really had this.
Yeah, gave it away.
Right in my hands. I had the chance to win, and unfortunate, the 6th frame, chopped that spare.
And you do think that way, but that's all he could do.
Yeah, you get off every frame, you try to throw the ball the best you can,
sure.
and you live with the results.
Okay, Brian Waliczek, he can strike out for a score of 237. He can actually force David to strike.
Yep.
Closing his eyes there, Marshall.
David doesn't want to look.
Actually, Brian was closing his eyes before he stepped up, taking a moment to regroup and focus on his shot.
Has not missed the pocket the entire game. Only player in the field to be able to do that.
He shot, okay.
It's definitely Waliczek and Ewald going neck and neck. And it looks like it was a speed adjustment that he made. But he didn't give him the ball to finish a little higher in the pocket. He knows the importance and the appropriate reaction. That shot there forced Ewald to mark in the 10th frame.
2 more strikes will force him to strike.
And there's a possibility of a tie.
Is it out far enough?
It is. And he was out far enough, all the way down to about lane 9. That could have been better.
High backswing, great projection down the lane, deep inside, then hooking it back, 10-pin the last to fall. Come on, ball. Yeah.
237 possibility here. And this pinfall important, very important.
Oh, it's huge. If he strikes here, we force Ewald to go 9 spare strike to tie him, or strike in the first ball for that man to win.
Exactly.
That's a lot of pressure. Taking a lot of time.
Oh, what a finish.
And a great game bowled by Brian Waliczek. 12 balls right in the 1-3 pocket. A bunch of 10-pins staring him in the face.
I think that man has a future on him, maybe on the PBA Tour.
I think he has a future anywhere he wants to go. He's got a very, very good game. You can tell that he's gotten some very, very good advice from his older brother Lonnie. And it seems like he's got a darn good head on his shoulders for the game of bowling.
So David Ewald taking some time here, trying to compose himself. He knows what's on the line. He has to strike here to win. If he gets a 9 count, he could spare and strike to tie.
And he needs to slow himself down, because if there's anything he does that gets him in a little trouble, is when he gets too fast with his feet and his ball speed. Biggest shot of his life. Coming through with a great shot. Boy, that's a great way to win.
What a shot. The crowd is standing.
Brian Waliczek knows what a great shot he made. And Waliczek did everything he could do, but Ewald was just too much for him. You take a look at this winning shot. Really got good leverage, great fingers in the ball, and just no chance for anything to stand up. Just stay behind the line.
Exactly. Keep it on the lane. Hit some pins.
Oh, great game. He's going to be in the 250s. Waliczek's got to feel very good about the way he bowled. He'll get $25,000 for second place, but the $50,000 will be owned by that man.
David Ewald. What a performance. Actually, he only missed a strike twice.
Yeah.
Strikes here, he'll have 10 strikes this match.
He did it.
Pretty impressive. So David Ewald cashes in for the 50 grand as the 2002 Mini Eliminator champion with a final score of 258. We'll be right back to talk with him. Don't go away. By Brunswick, bowling balls for every level of play. And by National Airlines, everything is better up here. Final score of the Brunswick Mini Eliminator, David Ewald 258, to Waliczek's 237, Emmett's 209, Stone's 165, and Nelson's 160. And there's your champion, David Ewald, and in with your trophy, Lori Tesmer of Turbo 2-in-1 Grips.
It's our new hometown hero. Way to bring it home. We had a great tournament on behalf of Turbo 2-in-1 Grips, Brunswick, the Orleans Hotel and Casino. Congratulations.
Thank you, Lori.
And I know you're waiting for some money, so Ron Addison, Director of Marketing for Brunswick Corp.
Dave, I know it's been a long week of bowling for you. You've performed great, and as a result, I'm very pleased to present to you, on behalf of Brunswick, this winner's check in the amount of $50,000. Congratulations.
Just like to thank Brunswick for all their work. Billy Rolikowski helped me out a lot this week. Drilled up some new balls for me. They worked out pretty well. Turbo 2-in-1 Grips. I've used their products since I threw a fingertip. and all the other sponsors, National Airlines, KR Strike Force. It's been a great tournament. Thank the Orleans, too. The staff's great.
Well, thanks again, and congratulations again to David Ewald. He wins the Brunswick Mini Eliminator. And earlier today, Les Horton captured the Brunswick Shootout title with this shot in the 10th frame. And here he is, Les Horton. What a great shot in the 10th that was. I know you're waiting for a trophy. Mike Maniak, Director of Bowling Operations of Coast Resorts.
Yes, congratulations. Great bowling. One shot for $15,000. I'd like to bet in your shoes. Well done.
I don't know about that. Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
$15,000.
Whew, I'm telling you. Well, I'd like to thank, first of all, my mom and my dad. They've always been there for me, supporting me. I'd like to say hi to my boys, Jason, Jacob, and Kyle. I wish they could be here. Also like to thank the Orleans. It's a great place. Mike Maniak and his staff here.
That's enough. So thanks again. Right. Les Horton, congratulations in the 205 and under average category. He walks away with $15,000, and Dave Ewald walks away with $50,000. It could be you next year. Tune in Monday for the PWBA Dallas Open from Don Carter West. For Marshall Holman, I'm Jan Schmidt, saying so long from the Orleans Casino and Bowling Center. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com.